Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing incredibly well. We just got a chance to see and to meet this guy again, Jensen again for the Nvidia. For those who do not know who he is the one of the richest person in the world, one of the guy who invented AI. One of the guy who invented ChatGPT, one of the guy who invented AI and things like that. Yeah, so we just see these things going on. You see, for the longest time, we got 1964, we got IBM system, we got Intel, we've got the invention of radio, invention of cars, we have inventions of all these Bill Gates, Microsoft, the computer, and then 1969, we got all these beautiful things, the um all these beautiful things, the medicines and all of that. And now kind of he made it like this is where we are right now. So we got like SpaceX going on, we got robots, robotic labs going on, we got RoboForce, Aurora, all of this beautiful stuff. It's Mars. So it's coming out right now, just right there, and stuff like that. So it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. It's literally just a few minutes ago. But anyway, so welcome home. But because this training is more, I love you guys so much. We have to come back just to continue this session. So now I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen right now. You're welcome. We have Alwin, we have Carlo, we have Brandon, and stuff like that. So what's the point of me showing this at the end of the day? It's actually because just to show you that no matter what happened, all of these we actually experienced many times the bubble. Yes, we actually experienced many times the bubble. So I'm just going to say it one more time. Oops. Okay, let me just share my screen real quick and share my screen in a proper way real quick. Cool. So as I said it before, I'm just going to recap it again because remember, repetition is a mastery of any skill that you want in your entire life. Yeah. So repetition is a mastery of skill of repetition is a mastery of any skill. So no matter what happened, we have 1989, we have this invention of so many beautiful things. But if you look at the inventions carefully, whether it's radio invention, whether it's a cow invention, whether it's an aeroplane invention, whether it's an internet invention in 2000, whether it's Microsoft invention, people say Microsoft, every single house is gonna have a computer. Okay, every single house they want to have a computer. So what happened to Microsoft after the internet bubble? It went up big time. Where is this? Look, it went up big time since, let's see, where is it? It went up big time, like the world has never seen before, just before the internet bubble, 2000, and then it continued to stay the same for 10 years. The price never changed. Yeah. Like internet, the computer, the most important part. We all have a computer in our home. Yet the stock price for 10 years since the internet bubble do nothing. So as powerful as elegant as nice these things is that you are saying, at the end of the day, things do come back to our mean line. So what is really, really important is to be super patient, stick to our strategies, because eventually things is gonna come back really, really nicely, no matter what happened. Yeah. Like for those people who cannot wait, 1998 for Microsoft, wow, first computer is coming in. They saw a lot of this beautiful presentation. They saw, Bill Gates doing these interviews, Bill Gates doing that, doing this, and they really think computer is going to be everywhere and people buying a lot of computers, almost every house has a computer. And what happened to Microsoft? The stock price has stayed the same for 10 years. Actually, very similar to Apple's as well. They are very similar to Amazon's as well. They are all very struggling during the internet bubble because when the things comes down, everything comes down. But when the stock goes up, even a monkey can do can do well. Yeah. So as an investor, how do we make a lot of money? We really make a lot of money by being patient, by sitting down and really wait for the time to come to our line. Okay. Now let's do some analysis right now so you can really, really see. Because if you look at it carefully, when the stock price comes down, when the stock back goes up, it takes 2 years to goes up, but when it comes down, literally 2 months, all 2 years of profit is gone. Can you see? I want to repeat again. Yeah. So don't worry about when the stock is gonna come, when the stock is gonna come down. Things are very natural. When stock goes up, it takes ages to go up. But when it comes down, literally, one day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 months, literally come down just like that. Yeah. So hence right now you can see on our story, we give you a lot of tips, we give you a lot of hints, just trying to get ready, just to get prepared, because when the real thing comes, you kind of can get ready a little bit. Yeah. So that's kind of the guarantee to make money is when the stock kind of come to the support line, and we buy stock that is very high growth, 30% growth in revenue, in EPS, and Nvidia is going to be one of them, but we wouldn't buy them now. We wouldn't buy them now. A lot of people come go and rush, kind of go and buy them and stuff like that. No, we wouldn't buy them now. And we have to be disciplined and wait for the price to really come to the price that we want. Yeah. So let's do the analysis a little bit real quick so that we can see what's going on with the stock price right now and stuff like that. So you can see use our step two of our week two of our technical analysis. You can see this is a trend line. Do monthly, do weekly chart. Coming back down here, 6,000, 5,000 is a really, really good deal. Okay. Coming back down 5,000, 6,000 is a really good deal. And then you draw your support line just right here. Support line is ending like that. So maybe it comes back down there. That will be a really, really good deal. Yeah, that will be quite a good deal. So what we normally do is that last week we said it before. It's so yeah. So coming back down is a really good deal. So usually historically markets went down. Let me see if I can still find the pictures for you real quick. Yeah, historically market goes down around. Let me see if you can find you the pictures beautifully real quick. Historically, yeah, that's the pictures. So you can see historically, the worst situation we have in 85 market went up 34%, 2008 financial crisis went up 49%. What is this? This is 2000 internet bubble. It went up around 34%. 2000 corona time when things got shut down went up around 34%. That's kind of what historically things is going to come down for. Last week and stuff like that, markets went up around 1%, 5% and stuff like that. The only thing that's kind of give us a little bit of the hint is that the volatility index did spike up quite a bit. If you remember, volatility because volatility index is measure how fearful people are as well. So volatility index actually, yep, they spike up a little bit there. We just talked about that. Spike up massively 17th of October. And adding a little bit of position there is kind of okay. So yeah, so it normally spike up very frequently as well. So yeah, the last time, let me see, February. February. Yep, usually you can see this October last year, there's a spike in November time and stuff like that. Yeah, so usually spike up very, very frequently. So you kind of have an idea. Obviously, the dream for me to go all in will just be around 37. Okay, when the volatility index is around 37, write it down. When the volatility index 37, you want to put your money in. You want to start actually buying something in. Really powerful. And and then what else? And then yeah, and then the spike down 24. This is just last Friday. We discussed about that last Friday. It's okay a little bit there, but if you didn't get in, that's absolutely fine. Another spike out is gonna come, and then you just get ready and sit tight from that. Okay. So that's kind of what happened. So let me go back to SB 500. Yeah. So what was I trying to say here is that usually, we kind of want to, usually when the stock went down 34%, 2020-25, the market crashed around 20% at the moment. So if you remember the market crash that we have for the tariffs, let me just go back very quickly, just right here. Yeah, the market crash that we have here, it went from 6.1 to 5. 6.1 to 5. 1 divided by 5. 1 divided by 6. 1 divided by 6. Yeah, it's around 20% just right here. Okay. 20% just right here. So if you really so this is what happened. You can see 20% is kind of like the average of what stock usually come down for. Okay, usually 20% is a very, very good deal. So you want to be careful when the stock went down 20%, you want to start adding a position in because sometimes you never know how much is going to come in. So sometimes it went down around 1%, 3%, all this percentage, a little bit of the drop is actually not so important. If you miss that out, that's absolutely fine because a bigger, a nicer one is gonna come back to you. Yeah, that happened in last year's exactly the same time. In last year, you can see last year October time, just like that. A little bit of the stock dropped down, but eventually it came down even bigger for a lot of us. Yeah, which is really, really happy. So yeah, so that's kind of what happened just right here. So yeah, so what if this 20% drop from here? So you calculate, you want to have the ability to calculate what would the stock price be like if we drop 20%? The price is 6.8 right now, 6.892. So what do? You use 6.892 times 0.8 is 6.313. So if it drops really, really crazily, it will be 6.313. Okay. That's kind of like the first kind of resistance. Like this will be the price back in kind of like July time. Do I do the calculation correctly? 7, 8. Okay, sorry. Let's do a 6, not 7. Okay, 5513. Sorry, let's go back to 5513. Yep. Now it will go back if it's 20% drop. If it's 20% drop, it will come back to 5513, which is just almost back to our tariffs crash here. Okay, almost back to our tariffs crash. What about if it is 10% crash? This is a crash. If it comes to 20%, you want to go all in. We will use some leverage. We use some option trading. This is the one time you make it. One time you actually make it in your life. One decision you make it, you're settled for life. You don't have to trade every day. You don't have to do day trading. You don't have to go up, down, up, down. You don't have to look at your chart. You buy it there, you click forget password, and you go. You never look back into your chart. Okay, I'll talk about wealth psychology a little bit because a lot of people, when they buy stocks, they get really, really emotional. Yeah, I want to recap that real quick. So that's kind of what happened. So yeah, that's 5500. And then what about if it's 10% drop? If it's 10%, it will be 0.9. It will be 6202. So 6202 would just be 6202. Yeah. 6202 is also quite nice. It will be just February, just before Trump announced tariffs. So it's come back to where we were. Okay, just before the tariffs. Imagine tariffs doesn't happen. So this is a two situation where you really want to start dollar cost averaging in your position. Okay. Anything other than that, 1%, 5%, like 1%, 5%, that's absolutely fine. And you want to, and the higher it goes, like internet bubble, whatever, but the higher it goes, the more it's gonna come down. Okay, the higher it goes, the more it's gonna come down. So that's kind of what happened. And I told you this as well. I recommend you to put 10% of your money just in here, VUAA. Okay, do a pending order. Just in case. VUAA. Why VUAA? Just put 10% of your money on your ISA account, share the link, do a pending order. Okay, do a pending order. If you don't know how to do it, take a screenshot, we can guide you in that. Go to trading 212, whatever account you have, do a non-leverage, do a pending order. What is the price of your pending order? Try to put it on the 1st of September price. Okay, 1st of September price. Just do that using 10% of your income, 10% of your money. That's how if you have £100, put £10 in it. Just so that you feel it. Just so that you feel it. So you have a benchmark because the more it comes down, the better it's gonna be for you. And it will always, it always come back down really, really nicely. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Okay, that's kind of what happened. So let's look at our strategy real quick. Go to our website. You'll see our step-by-step sentiment, really some beautiful strategy. We got that. Where are we? Yeah. So the more important strategy that we want to look at is market valuation. Let's look at the fear and greed. Let's look at if any CEO is buying their stock. I was about to ask Jensen Huang if he's doing a share buyback by the end of this year. Literally. When I finished the interview, and I was like, freak, I literally forgot to ask that question. But that's literally the most important question of the century, if he's buying back his own stock that by the end of this year. Because usually stock companies, they will buy back their own stock. And normally at the end of the year, they will normally buy back their own stocks as well. Yeah, no worries. No, I'm gonna go again, and hopefully he has time for me, and then we can chat a little bit. Wow, let's have a look. But we have hours of um long videos on my phone. Cool. So let me look at charts right now. So the good news is you can see, as I said before, whenever this crash, sorry, this the crossover. The last time we have crossover is April time. When the open insider, when the CEO of the companies are buying, you can see it's a great sign for us to go all in. Okay, no matter what happened, no matter how fearful you are, you just have to close your eyes and trust and just close all in. And now the good news is we don't really have um a crossover at the moment. So that means no one is actually buying back big time at the moment. Yeah. So you can see here September a little bit there. This is 2023. Okay. So this is 2023. The last time we have crossed here. If you buy it back here, you make a lot of money. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. What would you do on the May 8th of 2023? Would you buy or would you sell? Down in the chat box. Would you make money or lose money? If you do something on the 8th of May, when the purchase is 142, when the sales is 99.99, would you buy or would you sell? Would you make money or would you lose money if you do it there? Type in the chat box for me real quick. Yeah. So some people will be like, oh, Raven, there's 2024, there's not much crossing over. You're absolutely right. And the good news is the stock market did crash back to 2024. So open insider strategy is so powerful because the market did crash back. Can you see? 2024, there's no open insider cross, and the market literally crashed back till January 2024. So you're literally not missing out on anything. Yeah, so a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm missing out on this 2024. No, you're not missing out because eventually it comes back down. Yeah, so similar here. If you think you're missing out, just sit down, just sit tight, just really sit tight. Remember, making money in the stock market is not how much activity you do. Oh, the more I buy, the more I make. No, it's how patient you are, it's how you overcome your emotions. Yeah, so that's really, really powerful. Cool. So that is kind of what happened um at the moment in time. Let me just see if stock market valuation, the time to go all in as well is so when the market is negative 10%. Okay. So we are not there yet. You can see here, April 17, you make a lot of money. Here, October 24, you buy, you make a lot of money. Here, March, all of that, you make a lot of money. Yeah, so a lot of Vishal say bye, Abby say bye, well done, Alvin say bye, Anne say bye, Abby, Stan, Balas, Vishal, Kano, well done, Jano say bye, Mario, awesome, cool. So now, um, so that's kind of what is powerful, and that's what is important at this moment in time. But I want to cover some trading psychology a little bit because when we comes to doing the real thing later on, people get super, super, super panic. Okay. So even though we have the best strategies in the world, if people are super panic, that's actually, that's actually a bit tricky. So let's talk about how to overcome fear. How to overcome fear in life, in trading and investing, so that you're not cutting your profit short, okay? Profit shorts and or you're not cutting the flowers while watering the weeds, cutting the flowers, while watering the seed, watering the seed instead. So what does that mean? So for the longest time, okay, if you're not in the group already, we actually have an Instagram group. Normally this is only for apprentices as well. So it's linked on my bio. So just click on it. You will see there's a group there. So normally, just for training, just to get ready. So whenever there's good to buy or sell for fun and stuff like that, we will post it on that as well. Okay. So how do you make use of it? So as I said before, a lot of the times when it comes to buying a certain stock, for example, like this week, because of President Trump actually, and using a little bit of our four-step trading strategies as well, we decided to post. I saw this tweet straight away, literally straight away. The minutes I saw his tweet, let me just go through the behind the scene process with you. The minute I saw his tweet, literally, and I literally backtest what happened in the past. So our stock market right now, if you're on a British training, you kind of know our stock market right now is actually being influenced massively by the most powerful person in the world right now, which is President of United States. Okay, whether you like it or not. So a lot of things is actually being affected by that big time. So what happened here is that even the crash that we have so far, all of them is basically due to the person, due to Trump. Like February, suddenly there's a crash because he raised his hand and say, you know what, guys, because you know what, he raised his hand. You know what, he raised his hand. He said, guys, you know what? Let's have a tariffs going on. Let's let's set out tariffs. So you set out tariffs of all countries in the world, 50%, 30%. Market dropped massively. And then at the bottom, he literally come up and say, you know what, guys, time to buy stock. And so he reversed it back. So he reversed it back. So even the eggs prices come down big time. The eggs prices used to go up big time. The eggs was so expensive. Let me show you egg prices in the US. So I was backtesting a lot in because we've been doing for quite some time. So if you've been trading as long as me, you probably oops, this is not a good website. Let's go and get a better website. Yeah, Federal Reserve is probably a better website. So if you've been trading as long as me, you kind of know, X usually quite stable in prices. And then suddenly, egg prices March time, you really get really expensive. And he come out and say, guys, egg is too expensive now. $6, I think, probably something like that, six. And then he came down March. And then he said, you know what, guys, let's reduce the price of the egg. So it comes down April, 6 to 5, 20% drop. 5 to 4 May, there's another 20% drop. June to 3, there's like 10% drop. So in total, it dropped from 6 to 3. That's like 50% drop. 6 to 3, 50% drop. Okay. That's kind of okay. That's kind of okay. So I was like backtesting a lot of the stuff, and it would be like, okay. And he tweeted it again and actually talk about beef this time, talk about cattle this time. He said, what did he say? So he said, literally, he said that guys, tariffs has helped our cattle a lot, but cattle prices needs to come down because we care about consumers as well, and because of that, he increased the quota to let more beefs to come into our country. Because the reason why beef has been going up so high in prices is because of what? Because of because of what? Because of the tariffs, yeah. So no beef is coming in to the US. Okay. So that's what happens. And then we use our trading strategy. You can see using our technical analysis, you go to the Friday, you can see there's a volume spike here. Whenever you see a volume spike, that is a sign for a reversal. Volume spike is normally a sign for reversal. So when you see a volume spike, you want to be careful. So the price tends to go up. There's a big volume spike just right here, and it tends to come back down. Okay, there's a sign for reversal just right there. Okay, there's a volume spike. Ooh, this is crazy. This is dangerous. Let's have a look. What is that? Let's go to a smaller time frame a little bit. So we have a big volume spike here. Okay, there's a big volume spike there. And okay, so that's kind of what happened. Yeah, there's a big volume spike here. So sometimes you'll be like, let's backtest a little bit on the past to see what's gonna happen. So this is kind of like, let's see. Yep, you can see whenever there's a spike here, there's a drop, and then there's another spike here. Okay, see the spike is a drop spike, and there's some spike, and there's another spike. This spike is almost more than that spike. So even though this spike is red candle, this is literally the bottom of the cattle market. Yeah, there's a spike there, come back down. There's a spike there. Literally, it's the bottom of the cattle market. That's quite easy. Let me just go to even smaller time frame later. So you went up. So you combine all these volumes together, it's actually more than the sell volume here. and it go up, and then suddenly went up, suddenly no more energy, no more buying power, no more buying power. And then there's an increase, there's a spike down, and then there's another spike kind of up, spike up, buying power coming in reverse, going in, another few spike of a volume, sellers are coming in a little bit, and then go up a little bit. But these sellers are not stronger than the buyers. So you continue to push the stock up. Can you see the sellers in? Like this buyers is so much bigger. So you push the stock up, continues to go up to a point where what number is this? This is 10K, okay? So up to a point. So coming back down. This is like buyers coming in up to a point two. So there's a spike here. So you can see recently we have a lot of volume here. Doing, 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 doing. A lot of volume gathering around there, guys. Not even joking. Wow, there's a lot of volume gathering there. So let's have a look. So let's see, like that. So there's spike of volume here. This is a volume here. Tui. And there's a spike there. There's a spike there. There's a spike there. No, there's another spike here, guys. Not even joking. Can you see the spike there? Cool. So, let's backtest a little bit more of this thing. So, you can see there, there. Okay, our volume right now. Hmm, interesting. Okay, let me show you a magic, guys. So I'm going to put a horizontal vertical line here just to show you all of the spike and what happened to the stock prices real quick. Show you all of the spike. Just show you all of the freaking spike. Just right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. So let's see if there's any more. It will be nice if it is a, it will be really nice if it is a, what? Hmm. So you can see daily in the daily volume there, it doesn't really tell a lot, okay? Daily volume doesn't really tell too much. Yeah, daily volume doesn't actually tell too much. But most often than not, it can be a reversal, just like that. Coming back down, a spike of volume just here. So the question is, would it be suddenly a spike of volume when the price is doing halfway? You know, halfway, so there's a bit of volume coming in there. Okay, and then you just bottom there. Mm, halfway. Okay, so this is a halfway. 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 Mm. So when it comes down, you want the volume to be going down as well. Okay. So this is where we are kind of at the moment. Let's see how much discount do we get now. So 25 to 22. 3 divided by 25. How much is that? Let's look. 3 divided by 25 is around 12% kind of discount for the beef prices that we have right now. Okay. So it's around 12% discount for the beef prices that we have right now. Okay. So the eggs, what we got for the eggs, we have quite a um we have around 50% drop, but I don't think so. This beef is gonna drop 50%. Probably 20% is the max it's gonna drop. So let's make it easier. 20, okay, let's do it again. 24 divided 20, what's the highest price? Let's have a look. Okay, let's pretend it's 25, okay? 25, 25 times 0.8. How much is that? It's around 20, okay? So the maximum that is kind of gonna drop to is probably just around 20, which is also quite insane. Now, in order to see whether you or not they're gonna come down like a rocket, I've never seen things come down like a rocket in my entire life. So whether or not you want to see if things gonna come down like a rocket, um, it's not gonna come down like a rocket. Normally there's a pullback first. There's a really nice pullback first before it starts. So you might go up like that before it comes. It's gonna follow our 1 hour Bollinger Band or EMA line in terms of the pullback. Pullback doing, pullback here doing, pullback there doing like that. Yeah. Cool. So in order to see whether this is a reversal or not, okay, in order to see, look, because there's so many volume here, one volume, two volume, three, this volume is kind of higher than this volume already. This is a sell volume. But this kind of volume like 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, there's a lot of volume here, guys. Let me see in the past when this happened, kind of what happened. It's not very clear in an insane way. Let me see. So there's a lot of volume going on here. I want to see what happened when we have a lot of volume at the bottom. Okay, I see. Mm, okay. So that's what happened, yeah. So the reason why we sold is because of the volume. The volume spiked down big time. It's a reversal pattern. So now you can see there's a lot of bunch of kind of volume kind of going on here. So there are two things. You might say, oh, it may be the time to reverse up, first part, because there's a lot of volume kind of here going on. Buyers are coming in. That's the first potential thing that might happen. The second potential thing that might happen is that you might say, oh, they might continue to come down because and this volume spike is higher than all of the volume spike before. Usually, if you want the thing to go reverse, usually it has to be higher or quite similar. Okay, what do you mean? So if I show you an example, yeah, this price going up really nice, okay, going up, and then there's a spike of volume here. Can you see spike of volume? This is a sell volume. Okay, it's a sell volume. So what happened in this sell volume? The price came down. So you'll be like, okay, this sell volume. Okay, now I start next time. This buy volume was coming in is more than this sell volume, and the stop price has been coming up really nicely. Okay, so that's how we judge it usually. Yeah, and then it came back up big time. And right now it's the sell volume here. So this one volume sell is quite a lot. It's okay. And if you combine all of these, so I don't combine, this is probably the sell, this is probably the sell, but here, a little bit here, that's a tricky volume going on. Okay. So that's based on step two a little bit. We also have seasonality a little bit real quick, just want to see how these usually go as well. Just have what's it called? Cancel. Oops. Yeah, let's go Kato real quick. So you can see in Kato wise, you can see the is Kato feeder Kato. So feeder Kato came back in November, October, December, and we have another called Live Kato Futures. So November a little bit deep down here, and that's almost about it. So probably we're gonna sell it when it comes to the first week of November, and we call it a day. Okay, first of November, we call it a day. Okay, so that's kind of that's kind of the first part, and obviously the better so that's kind of what happened. Okay, so that's number three. And so when you come to selling these, when I first enter, or normally if you enter any trade, you want to have think about what is the maximum loss. Okay, so the first way, how to get rid of fear. Think about the maximum loss. What's the worst case situation that's gonna be? Okay, what's the situation worst case gonna be scenario? So if I sold it here, depending on your position size, you can put a minimum size 0.01, whatever that is. Size doesn't really important. So you can put it here. So this is kind of will be a stop loss. So you'll be like, okay, if it comes out here, I call it a day. Okay, that's kind of what happened. And when it comes to letting it run, you want to find your support line. You want to find you want to find a support line, or you just want to have the conviction to know that, okay, if Trump wants the price to come down, 10% down is not really down. 10% down for the beef cattle is not enough. 10% for the beef cattle? Not enough. This is such a crazy thing. Last time when it dropped from 17 to 9, that's 17 to 9. This is 40% down last time, okay? Actually 8. Yeah, it's more than, yeah, it's actually more than 50% down last time when it comes down properly. Yeah, so right now 10% down and then pull back to all-time high again? No possible. It can't be like that. Yeah, it's too fast to go back to all-time high like that because we want the price to come down. Okay, so it will take time because it takes time to grow the cattle anyway. Cattle, it doesn't come out just like that. It takes around 2 to 3 months to grow the cattle. Yeah, so that's kind of what happens. So first, think about what's the maximum loss. When I got in, I think about my maximum loss. I would do what I'm comfortable with. £10, £100, £1,000, whatever that is, I'm comfortable with. Put my stop loss just above the resistance line. Okay. So that's the first part. Think about the worst case situation whenever you are super scared to do something. Second, I think about my maximum win. My maximum win, I think about my profits. So as I said, X came down 50%. This one, I kind of want to come down at least 10 to 20%. At least 10 to 20% just right there. Okay, now we are already down 12%. We already down 12%. Okay, so taking a little bit of profits is quite fine here. Yeah, now it's already down 20%, unless it come back up again. If it comes back up again, like a normal pullback, then yes, then I will short. But if it doesn't pull back, then I will be very, 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 I'll be very, very scary. I want to make sure the volume, the down volume will continue to go down really nicely. And is following our, EMA line and Bollinger Band line like that going down, in a nice way on an hourly chart. So think about maximum profits and loss. Number three, once you set it all up, you already know how much you're gonna make. It's the same thing as how we do a roller coaster. We go away. We go away. We click forget password. We shut down our computer. We delete the app. Look at the most powerful, the richest person in the world. They make a lot of money because they forget that they own Bitcoin. They forget that I own that stock, I own this stock, I own that stock. Because sometimes humans get very emotional. Oh, am I doing the right thing? Over analysis, paralysis. You'll be like, oh, what happened? Should I get out? Should I get out? Oh, what if? What if? What if? And at the end of the day, you never do anything. So this is why most people cut their profit too short and cutting the flowers too fast because so in life, so you want to think about the worst case situation to get rid of the fear. Think of the worst case. Okay, how much am I going to lose here? I'm put £100 stop loss, £1,000 stop loss. If you don't know how to do this, go to your demo account and practice how to do it. And then talk about maximum win. And then okay, how much am I going to win here? Okay, 10%. Okay, how much is 10% from where I am right now? If I'm getting in right now, let's pretend you're getting in right now, it's already down 12%. It's already down 12%. Is there 5 more% to go? And stuff like that. You have to back test properly and see things really, really properly. Okay. And then roller coaster, the way to get rid of the roller coaster, to do a roller coaster very bravely, it's not by looking at the roller coaster up and down, 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 up and down. No, it's by closing your eye. It's by closing your eye and let the roller coaster do. And by the time you wake up, okay, time to celebrate. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So that's kind of what happens as well. So live cattle been going down. Gold has been going down. Let's have a look. Yeah, gold, a lot of commodities has been going down just like that. You can practice in your demo a little bit while looking at it. Let's have a look. How is gold doing? Let's go equity clock. Let's go like gold. What's gold seasonality gonna do? According to gold seasonality, I've been in the market for more than 20 years. Gold seasonality looks like it's gonna come down. Let's have a look for October, November, and December. I think it's lagging, guys. What's happening here? Mm. Okay, while waiting for the things to lag. Hi guys, sorry about that. We are back. So what we doing about the last question that I talk about is gold, isn't it? So you can see gold is also been coming down really nicely. Coffee also been coming down really nicely. Let's look at our seasonality for this gold and coffee. Let's see how is it gonna go. So this is gold. Let's look at what is gold going on. Yep, gold. You can see usually that gold ETF. Gold, you can see gold usually October time start to come down, November time coming down. Gold, you can see it come down like that. Gold, you can see it come down like that. It comes down like that, it comes down like that. Isn't an inverse ETF you can buy for gold? Inverse ETF. So you don't use any leverage like that. Okay. So gold is okay. Yep. Gold, coffee and stuff like that. You know, gold, coffee, you can use a eToro, X1 to X2 leverage a little bit. Okay. If we just look at that real quick, where are we? Where is gold? Mm-mm-mm. Yep, you can see historical wise, if I type gold ETF, where's gold ETF? Global X Gold ETF. What is this? You can see October time, November time, usually there's a pullback going on. Yeah. Usually October, November. Back test it a little bit. And then when you do it, just be really patient, and just let it run. Okay? Just put your limit, put your stop loss, and just kind of let it run a little bit. Or do it in your demo, do it in your practice account. So you build the confidence up a little bit. Coffees is also quite expensive a little bit. New York coffee, London coffee. It's almost at all-time high, a little bit just right there. Yeah, coffee is almost at all-time high. That's what happened to our coffee. All-time high. Crazy. Really beautiful. Cool. So that's kind of what happened just right now. Just really, really remember these three steps so that you don't get too scared. Because when you come to buying things later on, even though I give you the best trade in the world, if you're too scared, that's a bit tricky. But practice, with practice, it will come to your experience. Cool. Let's look at some of your homework right now. If you've done your homework, say yes, so we can look at your homework straight away. So type in the chat box if you've done your homework, so we can see your homework real quick. Okay. There's no right or wrong. We're just gonna look at your homework real quick. Type in the chat box if you have done your beautiful homework. Mm, Cool. Okay, screen. So homework is very simple. Last week you can see because we don't have any selling trades, so the market actually went up. If you want to know whether the stock is going to come down or not, just go to the news. Hear companies type the guidance. You will know everything. Today, guys, is crazy. Nvidia mentioned about buying Nokia. Yeah, let me just show you something real quick. I'm sure about buying Nokia. The best website in the world, which is I'm giving you right now, which is this. I actually told you to short no to buy Nokia a long time ago. So. Nvidia talked about buying Nokia a long time ago, but this website kind of already told you to buy Nokia already. So you're not the first person. No, invest 1 million 5 hours ago. So it kind of tell you way before the announcement comes. So market screener is crazy. Anyway, let's go to our homework right now. Go to news, go to all news. Let's go at guidance real quick to see any companies is reducing their guidance. Profit warning. Okay, this is the homework part. This is a week four training. If you want to make a lot of money, this is it. This is how you make a lot of money. Okay, so let's go through this right now. Today's 28. Last week was, what day was last week? Let me see. Last week was 21st. Okay, let's start from 21st. So lowers the guidance, genuine part, revises holding. This is where you read things, trying to understand if the stock gonna come up or down. Hexcel, Horizon, Viking, Hotel, Reliance unchanged. Revenue report, equity fall, tech fall, earnings, tech, Renault. If you want to be the first person to tell whether the stock is going to come down, it's going to be from the guidance. Because last week you can see we go through the guidance, we find zero stock. We found zero stock out of everything. So to short, that means the markets keep going higher. So if this week there's no more guidance going down, wow. Revises signify GM earnings, Welltower, Sankar Technology, earnings, Citron, core profit below expected, share force, cadence forecast earning below, career earnings, updates guidance. Not many companies, but this week is going to be have a lot of big companies releasing big stuff, guys, this week. Devices guidance. Insight lowers its financial guidance. Net sales corporate lag behind. Numinant 20. Let's look at this. I can't find that. Lennox earnings for the full year decreased by 1%. That's not a lot. Hexcel 1.88, previous 1.8. That's the same. Honeywell for the company decreased 40 against previous 40.8. That's very similar. Updates earning guidance 19, previous 19.5. That's similar. Heads whole revenue 25 compared to last time also 25. What is this? Sales grow negative 25 from previous low single digit growth. Signify. Mm-mm-mm. You can see some students already shorted this on the 24th of. Look, previously was a low single digit growth. That means it's positive. Now the sales growth is negative. From positive to negative, 24th. Where's 24th? This here? 24th, 23rd is time here. It's near the support line. Otherwise, we would have shorted it big time. Well, let's go. Welltower revised to a 0.82 from 1.86. That's very down. Net expect 15557. Wow, that's very down. Why, how come so down? Average blended growth, that's really down, guys, for Welltower. Some students might short it on the 27. Something's going on with this. Let's read it carefully. Revises earning has been revised 0.82 from the previous range of this. Same store was increasing 13%. Net income expected to be 557. You might be able to short this. We just need to understand why is it so down. Sustain growth life files by selling shareholder up to 1.18 million. Boost annual forecast. Unveil. Issues business update. Welltower rental. Reports promotion appointment. Acquire real estate. Revises earning guidance. Because it's down more than half. Suncar, let's look at this. Withdrawing previous withdrawing doesn't really mean anything. Alexander Real Estate. The mid guidance was reduced by 344 from 0.5 to 5. The midpoint of its guidance net loss was reduced by 3.44 from 0.50 to okay, so it's talking about this company used to make money 0.5, now is losing 2.94. So let's short this guy, guys. Alexandra. Wow, it's all-time low already. This guy is all-time low already. That's insane. Really? All-time low like that? Let's put it on. Yeah. Let's put it on real quick. Reshma, please send the link here if you can. Anyone done your homework? Send it here, please. Oh, do. Siltronic, let's have a look. Semico reported slightly than lower expected quarterly core profit. Depreciating forecast 66. What company posted earning third from down forecast? What is this? Company posted down from below. Okay, this has nothing to do with anything. There is no guidance. We are looking for guidance. Cadence earnings slightly below expectations. Sometimes you have to go to the companies directly. Actually, most of the time, you kind of have to go to the companies directly. Let's read this. Announced Q4, uh, expect EPS slightly below consensus of 1.92. Cost share restriction raises its annual forecast, so this is going up. Smith Corporation net income to be in the range of that to that. Lard Corp 7.4, previous 7.5, a little bit down. Corp, let's have a look. If it's all-time high, then we can short this a little bit. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. We need to kind of plot the 8 quarters of this company. Revenue. You plot 8 quarters of this company to see how things goes. Okay, that's the short a little bit Corp. Just to see, because revenue is quite the important thing, yeah. Normally revenue don't go down, but this revenue go down a little bit. Let's see, curb line 3.35, last time 3.37. So okay. Limited for the growth revises company earning two from four. This is also short. For the growth announced given factors performing the first revises revenue growth from 2 to 4 to 5. Okay, let's look. CSL Limited. Some people show on a 28 kind of already. Can't find this. Maybe trading 212 has it. Awesome. Okay, let's look at this beautiful Vertex. Well done, you found Vertex. Oh, yeah, really good. So you can see Vertiv is a very high growth stocks. It's a really good to buy. It's one of the babies as well. If you bought it on April, Extreme Fear, from 60K it went to 180. That's 3 times your money. While S&P 500 only went up 30 to 20%. Vertiv Holding, let's read this. What does it say? Let me look at the graph. Nice. I love that you have the graphs here. What date? November 5th. Okay, let's look at this. These are full year guidance. I love that. Net sales 10, organic 26%. To adjusted free Vertiv is strategic mid-rising Vertiv capital. That's good. That's good. The one before. It was 10, it was 9, 1, 3. Yeah, this is definitely a good trade to buy during extreme fear. Okay. Good shout because you can see there's more than probably more than 30% there. Next one, South Side. Revenue Express Fat. Okay, let's read this. The date first. Okay, this one. October 24 net income. We want the guidance. Not sure if this is the guidance. Maintain strong, expect. They looks positive though. Net 25, interest net income. Net income 54, this 24, 21, 50. We need the guidance. You wrote the guidance here, really good. Let's read this 29. I love the way you arrange it. But what is the latest guidance? This one. Q4 24 October, July, April. Maybe this one. Hard to see. Strongly by extreme fear grow constantly. Okay, okay. Cool, well done. Really good. Um, can't really see the latest guidance properly. Net income. I don't think so. This is the guidance. So if it is Q3, we compare to last year Q3s as well. This is Q whatever that is. For Q3 2023. Hmm. Okay, okay. Give me a second. That's good though. We're looking for selling trades. Well done. Doing really, really well. Let's go back. Let's see. Yep, CSL. So that's kind of the trades that we found a little bit here. Go on to your practice account, kind of practice a little bit. Go coffee, put on eToro a little bit of a demo, and virtual real estate. Draw the 8 quarters of the graph to see if it dropped quite a lot because it dropped from 0.5 to negative then 0, negative 9, 2.94. LabCorp is, yep, drop a little bit there. CSL also drops as well from 2 to 4. All right. Cool. Awesome. That's it for today. Stay in target. Be patient, guys. Really, it's really important to be patient right now because the more it goes up, the more it's gonna fall later on. Yeah. So remember, you only need kind of one decision to change your life for the better. Just one time when it comes down really nicely, you go all in. That's it. You don't have to work anymore. You don't have to look at things anymore because you are on the trade and forever you are screaming with profits. Yeah. Awesome. That's it for now. I'm gonna continue to see Jensen before he goes, and I will report to you on my story to tell you how it goes on next week's as well. Hope you guys learned something new. This is some of the trades. Please just go and click the button on your practice account and see how it goes. All right, and try to plot the 8 quarters of this graph so you know what's the target profit. But what is really, really important I want to talk about is how to overcome fear. Because when you place a trade, just think about the stop loss. How do you know, or even how do I know what's the stop loss? Go to seasonality and look at last year, how much it went up. Look at season. Think about how much. The stop loss is always above the resistance line, okay? Or find, above the resistance line. So that's think about the worst case situation. What's gonna happen? Put a stop loss there. Don't put a stop loss too close. Everyone put a stop loss too close, and then you just get stop out all the time. Put a stop loss in the resistance line above the resistance line. Okay, just above the resistance line a little bit. Exactly what I show you there. Yeah. It's a coffee, where do you put your stop loss? Oh, coffee. Let's have a look. Or even what if I get into the coffee? Where do I put my stop loss? If you gain the coffee here, three, say your stop loss is above there. Okay, above that. Or you go to seasonality and you look at where is it gonna go? Based on seasonality, does it go higher than the previous high? Let me show you another example. So if I go to like mm, gold, for example, yeah, let me show you something. Charts, gold, okay? Just pretend, okay? Gold ETF. What is a gold ticker symbol? What is it? X something. SAU? No, it can't be SAU. GLD. Okay, let's type SAU and see what SAU. Oh, should I use this? What is this? It's weird. This guy is weird. GLD. Anyway, let's type just Gold ETF. You find it properly, go and ChatGPT, they're probably going to tell you, okay? I'm just going to use this Gold Global for a second, okay? So you can see that, oh, okay, gold, do they go above, let's say I go in the gold right now. Do they go above, okay, let's pretend I'm here, yeah? So it says that, okay, gold is probably, if I short now, gold is probably going to go to above my highest high. So your resistance is just going to be here. Okay, so you go to the real chart of the gold above my higher high a little bit. Okay. pretend. So let's go to hourly a little bit. Let's find some volume. You can use a volume to help you in this situation. This is a bit advanced, yeah. But when you're doing extreme fear, you don't need any of that. You just click your button when you see the volume higher up. So you will be like, okay, if I short here, the spike of volume is kind of like there and there. Okay, let's go one more time. So the gold goes out like that. Suddenly there's a spike of volume here. The highest is a reversal. And then another higher volume here, another showing that it's going to come down even more because this shorting and shorting, both is shorting, and then continue to come down that there. So you want to start running away from gold when a green candle, when the buying is higher than these two, the sell volume, you're done. But anyway, so where would you put your stop loss in this situation? You probably put your stop loss just above the high of the volume here. Okay, so just above the highest of the volume, because if it's more than that volume, you're probably done as well. So the price is kind of here. Probably put your stop loss just above kind of there. So if you get in gold, the stop loss is going to be there and you let it run a little bit. Okay, so that's the first thing. You think about the worst case situation. Use volume in your situation. Use seasonality. Use everything that we've learned in your arsenal. Maximum win and maximum profit. This is it. So you go to equity clock again and you ask yourself, always how much does it come down? Okay, go always how much does it come down? September to October. How much if it actually comes down, how much it comes down? So it might come down all the way till end of November. So you call it a day, end of November, and you call it a day. So let's have a look. Um, last time was April. It did not actually come down at all. Let's see last time. Okay, last time October here, it went down how much? 27 to 25. So you calculate 2725. Let me see. Okay, 28 calculate. 28 to 25. That's 2. 2 divided by 27. 2 divided by 27. It's around 7%. Wow, that's crazy though. 7% is not enough, is it? So you can see there's a volume spike here and then come back down. Let's have a look. So it came back down there. There's a buy. There's an April buy. November. You kind of calculate how much usually gold comes down realistically. So this is 2. It comes back down to 19. 2 to 19. 1 divided by 20. How much is 1 divided by 20? It's around 5%. Okay. That's insane. 2 to 9. Like that, 5%. 2. Actually, 2086289. 2 divided by 10. It's probably around 10%. So how much is gold drop now? 4400. How much is 10% of 440? 4400 times 0.9. 39. Wow, we are around 39 at the moment. Okay, 10% is there. Let's see if it comes down even more based on the past. So there's you calculate. You calculate what's kind of the target profit. In stocks, how do you calculate the target profits in stock? Saying you use seasonality, you also look at how much revenue was it before. So for example, if they guide you that this year I'm going to make 5 million, you go back in time for the past 8 quarters to see where does it make 5 million. Okay? Where does it make 5 million last time? So if it makes 5 million when the stock price is £1, so you'd be like, okay, it might come down to £1, something like that. Yeah. Roller coaster, go away and delete it. That means remove your prices, remove your money. Don't associate yourself with money. If you associate yourself with money, you're done. You'll be like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You are done. Don't associate yourself with money. Associate yourself with points, with percentage and stuff like that. Yeah. If you associate yourself with money, you get super emotional. You will never be in any trade. Literally. You will never be in any trade. Yeah, because look, every single time you get into the trade, it's always negative straight away. If you want to give birth to a baby, it's going to be negative. You want to start a business, it's going to be negative. You want to do anything in life, it's always going to be negative first. Same thing with trading and investing. When you get into it, click this, As soon as you click the sell button, it's negative straight away because of the commission. But eventually, it's going to come to your direction. Time is your friend here because time is your friend. Okay, too many people, or when I first started 15 years ago, or sometimes if I don't have a very strong conviction, this is why I only get into a stock usually, unless I get to a very, very small position. But if I get on all into a stock, I want to make sure I guarantee make money. Literally, I want to make sure I guarantee make money. So I'm very selective of my stock. I don't get boredom trade. There are sometimes where I don't do any buy and sell. Oh, but when I click buy and sell, that's it. You understand? See, hence, being patient is really important. Same thing with Warren Buffett. Same thing with Jensen Huang. Same thing and any powerful people. We don't click buy and sell every day. We are very, very selective with our stock. When the market come down, when it's undervalued, then we click our button all in. That's it. Yeah. Trading and investing is not about making 10 decisions, it's about making one decision. Now you're playing around with it, that's absolutely fine, but we want to do it properly. Okay? Awesome. That's it for today. Hope you guys are doing well. We have David, we have Cheers. Something well done. What is this? Reshma. Okay, Reshma, I saw yours now. Let's have a look. My battery is dying, guys. Let's have a look. Where's Reshma? Is this Reshma? Let me click again. Wow, this is Reshma one. Thank you so much. Well done. We look at it just now. Really beautiful, Reshma. You're doing so well. Keep it up. Keep it up. Doing really, really well. Make sure you do the 10 babies that we talk about as well. Yeah, do the 10 babies talk about as well. And then we can book for your one-to-ones as well. Who am I talking to just now? Awesome, everyone. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. I will let you know how our interview goes. Bye bye.